Welcome to Plaid Couch. My name is Matthew, and I am joined by Tegan and Jaylene, and we have got some Reddit stories for you, specifically from the Am I the Asshole? So to start off, we've got Am I the Asshole for calling all of my cousins Mary? My granny always dreamed of having a daughter named Mary, but instead she got 6 sons and no daughters. Whenever she found out each of her DILs is pregnant, she would beg them to name the kid Mary, but no one would do this. When my baby sister, 2 months, was born, my granny decided that she is going to call her Mary, even... Typo. When my baby sister, 2 months, was born, my granny decided that she is going to call her Mary, even though that's not her name. My parents are very annoyed because of this, but they believe in respecting elders, so they won't say anything. This Christmas, we all gathered at Granny's, and she again called my sister Mary. I snapped at her to stop this. This is annoying. That's not her name. Granny was upset, and my cousins and uncles started telling me that I'm being rude, and it's just a name, and it's no big deal. So I decided that since it's no big deal for them, I will call all of my cousins Mary, even the boys. I called them Mary all day, and at the end of one of them snapped. I called them Mary all day, and at the end... Oh my gosh, this is really tough to read.
If only you read it beforehand.
I think I still would have struggled. I called them Mary all day, and at the end of the day, one of them snapped and told me that I'm not funny anymore and asked me to stop. I told him, I'm not trying to be funny, Mary, but I won't stop until you apologize and admit that it is annoying to be called something other than your name. Now they are calling me an asshole. So that leads to the question, am I the asshole?
No. It is one of those things. I don't know if my grandparents ever wished any of the grandsons or granddaughters were named something specific. But parents have the right to choose their kids' names. To straight up call the granddaughter Mary because you wanted to have a granddaughter named Mary so bad, it's a little weird. And then the uncles and cousins chiming in that it's no issue. They're the assholes, and it sounds like they got their just desserts by being called Mary for the rest of the day.
I love that he not only is sticking up for his sister, but he's also calling the boys Mary. Like, that was just funny to me. It's just a cherry on top.
Yeah. It was pretty
Also,
it was
the
pretty
story
good.
does resonate with me a little bit because, as you know, my grandmother, God love her, I was born, and I don't even think it was for a month. It was like a couple weeks. I was referred to as Jane. And my mom shot that down so fast, and my grandma doesn't even remember doing that now. It's just one of those things where it's like, that's not her name. Stop. So.
Yeah, I think it's on the parents to help reinforce that this is the kid's name. And yeah, it's okay to have, like, not necessarily a pet name, but a nickname of sorts for either your cousin or grandkids. But to have it just be Mary because you like that name so much is very weird.
Yeah, I don't get why some people get so hell-bent on names. It just baffles me.
Yeah, it was just such an interesting story, and I just had to know more about it. I had to share that with you guys.
For context, Matthew did not read that story until just now.
I'm a little bit spontaneous sometimes.
Am I the asshole for telling my stepdaughter to stop using period products in the bathroom she shares with my teenage sons?
Oh my gosh.
I'm hoping this is like clickbait title.
I have been living with my new wife and stepdaughter for about 6 months now. She's 19, almost 20, and I have 3 sons aged 18, 16, and 15. She's a really good kid and she's a good influence on my sons. I really enjoy having her around. My wife and her daughter moved into my house and sold theirs. My stepdaughter's father isn't present in her life, nor is my son's mother. All 4 children share a bathroom. My sons have never lived for a long period of time with a woman, nor have any of them had long-term girlfriends. They had short visitation periods when they were younger, but never longer than an hour, so living with 2 women has been unusual for them. My eldest son, 18, came to me last week and told me that his stepsister disposes of her used sanitary products in the trash can they share, but doesn't use toilet roll or sandwich bags to disguise what they are, and it makes him uncomfortable which I think is reasonable. My sons are teenage boys and don't want to see their stepsister's period products on full display. A few nights ago, I went into the kitchen to grab a snack, and she was there doing some work for university. My wife had mentioned that she knew she was on her period, so I took it as an opportunity to have a word with her. I told her my sons were uncomfortable and asked if she'd mind putting her used products in diaper bags or flushing them down the toilet. She laughed.
Wait.
Don't mean to interrupt. Don't do
Yeah,
that.
don't ever do that.
Don't flush them.
Don't ever
Continue.
do that.
She laughed and told me it was rich coming from a man who sheds like a gorilla and has produced 3 skid marking sons.
You're gonna have to repeat
Got him.
It has produced 3 skid marking sons, which I thought was just an unnecessary attack. I've been nothing but nice to the girl, and it's hardly a comparison. My son shouldn't be subjected to her unhygienic products if it makes them uncomfortable. She went on to lecture me about how tampons can't be flushed and that it's bad for the environment. If she uses diaper bags for everyone, which I think is just an excuse. I called her a scruff and told her that this was my house and that what I say goes. I later asked my wife if she could have a word with her, and she told me I was being ridiculous and that her daughter has had her period for 10 years and knows what she's doing. When I told her it was making my sons uncomfortable, she said my sons need to get a grip and turned over and went to sleep. This is a genuine issue to me, and she didn't care enough to have a discussion about it. I asked my stepdaughter again in the morning, and she did the same as her mother, completely dismissed it. Both of them have told me to stop being so silly, but I don't see how I'm being unreasonable when it makes my sons uncomfortable. Am I the asshole?
I'm gonna go first on this one.
Fine.
I have full expertise.
I picked this story for a reason.
First off, don't flush your tampons and pads down the toilet.
Please never do that.
You're gonna clog your pipes.
Never ever do that.
Those things, they're war-proof. Like I've accidentally like had a pad in my pocket and ran it through the wash. The thing is fine after, so don't flush them. That does not work. Second, he should have handled this so much differently. I was always taught to wrap your stuff and then throw it away. I think the boys should not have been brought up. But I do think you could be like, hey, common courtesy, can you wrap it in some toilet paper or something? Because, like, it is still blood. It is still gross. I would be mad if I walked into a bathroom and, like, Matthew's, like, bloody Band-Aid was right there. I'm like, you couldn't, like, cover that?
But I like her rhetoric, though, that the 3 sons leave the bathroom just as disgusting.
Yeah.
It is one of those things. And I understand the boys haven't had to really deal with that stuff
Right.
too often. But they're 18, 16, and 15. They need to learn that.
I was saying-
it's a natural thing that
Yeah.
happens. They better get used to it.
And
I agree.
And I could maybe see, because I'm not like fully, I think this guy's an asshole with how he handled this, but I don't think, I just couldn't imagine just like throwing a tampon out and just throwing it in the trash. And it's like, just get just a little bit of toilet paper. You don't need a lot, and throw it away. Again, that's what I was taught. They taught me that, and like when they did the talk when I was in the 4th grade, like make sure you wrap it just to be da-da-da. But also, like, I get it. Sometimes you're in a hurry and you just kind of throw your tampon out. And it's like, I just don't think, first off, I don't think the stepdad should have had the conversation.
Yes.
He should have went to the mom and been like, hey, this is a problem. It's making the boys uncomfortable. Like, can you please have her, do that accordingly? Because it is different when it's coming from a woman. It really is. And especially if it's your mom, because...
Well, there is an update to the story.
Okay. I'm already heated.
Not even 2 hours after I posted this, my wife and stepdaughter gathered my sons and I and gave us a full, intensive periods for pricks course, PowerPoint and all.
What?
It was a hoot. They made an interactive quiz and everything. My sons and I learned a lot and apologized to my stepdaughter. Thank you all for your input.
A wholesome conclusion.
Very
I love
wholesome
that.
ending.
But I think the wife and stepdaughter did the right thing. Just, hey, we're gonna
gonna
teach
go
you
through
idiots
this. Yeah.
the basics on everything. So I think he is the asshole, but he learned why. And they got a good laugh out of it at the end.
Yeah. Well, that's good that everything resolved. Most of the time, when you said, like, when they got us together, I'm like, oh my God, they're going to pack their stuff and move out.
Already.
over some tampons. But yeah, I'm glad everything worked out.
Yeah.
So
I want to add, because I've grown up in a mainly woman household. I don't have any brothers. I have all sisters and girl cousins for the most part. It's not a big deal. Like, you look over in the trash, it's normal. It's just, you don't have to make a big deal about
it shouldn't be a big ordeal. No. I'm more just like personal preference. I don't want everybody to come out of this and be like, oh, like, Jaylene's an asshole for thinking that. And it's like, it really is personal preference. I'm the same way with my gum. I like to wrap my gum after I spit it out. It's just like, I just think it's a little cleaner. But it's like, I've also been in women's bathrooms where people don't wrap their stuff. I'm like, it's fine, whatever.
Yeah. It's like the wife said, the daughter's been doing this for so long. She's figured out what works for her.
Right.
So,
but yeah, definitely.
And the boys are going to have to learn soon enough that, sharing a bathroom, the bathroom is a gross place just overall.
Depending, it doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah. Trying your best to keep it clean. But everyone, has their messes in the bathroom. For guys, shaving, my beard hairs get all over the sink sometimes, in the trash can, whatever it may be. I try my best to clean up. But it is one of those things. I try my best to clean up sometimes.
Yeah. There's
a mess. I live by myself, so...
I've had male roommates, and the shaving thing is like a big deal. You'll go in to brush your teeth, and it's just like...
just wipe the sink down. Like,
it is one of those things.
That's all you got to do.
I think I get everything, and then wake up the next morning, it's like... Ugh.
Yeah. I say that, but don't go in my shower because there's so much just hair in my shower.
Oh my gosh.
Just shedding. Am I the asshole for bringing white chocolate cake when asked to bring chocolate dessert? I, 24 female, recently moved to the city most of my paternal families live in. I grew up in another city and went to college on a different coast and wasn't close with them, spending only 6 Christmases with them growing up. I visited everyone in the city once I moved, so they know I'm living in the same city. I'm a pretty good cook and baker, so when I was invited to a potluck family party at my grandparents', I brought chicken stew, which received a lot of praise. One of my aunts asked if I also bake, and I said yes, showing them a few pictures of my baked goods. My cousin Lisa, 30 female, then invited me to her little girl gathering, telling me it's a drink and dessert party and that the theme is chocolate. I made a beautiful white chocolate cake for the party. It wasn't big, as Lisa told me there would be like 10 people attending, but because it was small, I was able to make it a little fancy with silver and white winter decorations. Everyone exclaimed how beautiful the cake was, and when Lisa put it on the table, it stood out as the rest was different shades of chocolate brown. My cake was praised. The food and drink were delicious. I hung out with my cousins and met Lisa's friends and her husband's family. I thought everybody was nice. Later, Lisa called me, not exactly complaining, but telling me next time I show up to the theme of the party, Oh, did I say that right? I'm going to rephrase that paragraph because I think I fucked it up.
Cut that.
Cut that. Later, Lisa called me, not exactly complaining, but telling me next time I should keep to the theme of the party. I told her I did, as white chocolate is chocolate. Lisa said that her husband's sister and a couple of nieces thought it was inappropriate of me bringing a dish that stood out so much, completely ignoring the party theme. They felt all everyone talked about was my cake. They asked Lisa to tell me to tone it down or don't invite me to the next same party because they can't stand someone so attention-seeking. Personally, I don't think I did anything wrong, but this is a group of 3 people thinking the same thing. So am I the asshole?
So I kind of zoned out for a second. Everyone's upset about a dessert.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of confused about too.
So basically, it's a chocolate-themed party.
Yeah, and she brought white
She
chocolate.
brought white chocolate cake, and everybody else made, like, I'm assuming dark chocolate, milk chocolate stuff.
And they accused her of being an attention seeker.
Because she made a cake, and it was pretty and decorated.
How petty do you gotta be? How petty do you gotta be?
This poor girl feeling bad.
I know, right?
About a cake.
My brain is just still trying to wrap around this.
This never should have been an issue
I mean,
in the first
obviously,
place.
she's seeking attention.
Because she made a white chocolate cake to a chocolate-themed party.
Yeah, I would have just brought, like, Hershey bars.
I know what you would have brought. Like, clearly she wanted, like, just a milk chocolate, dark chocolate party.
Mm-hmm.
Then say that.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And also, like, who cares? Really? Who cares?
Yeah.
I think these people are just... It sounds like this girl, like, really knows what she's doing with cakes and stuff, which cannot relate there. But it sounds like she came in with a cake that was beautiful and stole the show. And then, you know, Aunt and her 3 friends got all pissy because they weren't talking about, like, their, you know, chocolate cupcakes or whatever.
I'm just thinking about, like, my family events where there's that one relative that has a dessert that, like, the kids or whoever it may be just can't wait to have.
Yeah.
And it's like they have to make more of it because they've learned that people like it so much. I don't understand why someone would be like, they're just seeking attention.
Well, I get that it's a theme party and it sounds like it did stand out, but, like, she was in theme.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to mention, didn't you say they did silver and white decorations?
Yeah.
Was that on the cake or in the, like?
I'm assuming it's in the outside of the
in
cake.
the outside.
Yeah.
So, and this is thinking with my photograph brain.
Okay.
You know how many cool photos you could have taken of that party with the cakes, you know, all the chocolate cakes, and then you got this really nice beautiful white one with the silver decorations. They could have seen
I'm
it way
just
better
thinking
than
she
that.
wasn't supposed to stand out and be the talk of the party, and it sounds like these other women are just...
But, I mean, just having a chocolate-themed party and hoping everyone brings milk chocolate.
Or dark chocolate.
Or dark chocolate.
But everything would just taste the same then.
Yeah, you got, like, just the same palate. I didn't even think about that.
You gotta
but yeah,
cleanse
isn't
your
that
palate
funny?
after each slice.
Yeah. It's like,
Don't
all right, you just had a chocolate brownie.
Here's
now,
another.
Now here's a chocolate cupcake, and then here's the Hershey's chocolate bar that Tegan brought.
You're welcome.
But, yeah, it's just so silly. Who
How's it
cares?
taste? Tastes
like
like
chocolate.
the last one I had.
But...
But that's not just.
A little fluffier, but...
Yeah, and she said that she showed pictures of her cakes to this aunt. Wouldn't she be like, oh, she makes, like, cakes? Because you know people who, like, are cake bakers, like, they pop off.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell, like, oh, they
She
can
makes
bake.
the Kroger style with the cheap-looking frosting of almost Elsa.
But, so it's like she knew that she was going to bring a cake. She obviously didn't know it was going to be a white chocolate, but it's like, I don't know, the tone it down comment, it's like, it's a fucking cake. Who cares?
It's gonna get eaten.
Yeah. So, and I personally prefer white chocolate, so I'd eat
I'll
it.
eat anything.
Yeah, if it's got the word chocolate in it, I'm eating it.
I'm a man of the people. Keep it simple.
You got that right.
I like a good bougie cake every now and then.
Everybody likes to be a little bougie.
A little bougie. But So this has been another installment of Plaid Couch. If you like this video, check out some of the other ones. Subscribe, like, comment, tell your friends. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and anywhere else that you might want to find us.
Socials down below.
Yes. And keep
Click
on
like and subscribe.
and keep on
Bye.
couching.
Bye.